Welcome to the Website Success Show, the podcast dedicated to helping women in business make the most of the content they're already creating so they can get more traffic and sales through their website with less reliance on social media and paid ads. I'm Jules, the founder of the Website Success Hub, and I love helping course creators, podcasters, and business owners make more money through their existing website. If you have a business you love but you don't love the way your website performs, then this is the show for you.
Hi. So I thought I'd dive into a little topic this morning, a question that came up in a Facebook group that I'm in as to whether AI is killing off SEO and whether SEO will become irrelevant in the future because of AI. And it's a topic that, obviously, for myself, somebody who helps businesses with SEO, among other things, it's something that you're a bit like, okay, is that true? And you can kind of think about it. And I actually was dreaming about this last night. I was thinking about it before I went to bed, ridiculously, as you do. And I had a dream about it, about the fact that, well, even if people are using AI to deliver answers, it still is critical that whatever's reading the information on your website can understand it. And that's the foundations of SEO, is that the information on your website is set up in a way that search engines, whether that is AI that's reading the info or whether it is Google or any other search engine, needs to be able to understand the information. And it might be, we may get to a point where actually the AI will be generating that information itself. But there are ways that you can stand out, and there are ways that you can protect yourself with the content that you're creating right now, to protect yourself a bit more from what could happen in the future. And who knows what could happen in the future? There's so much change even in the last 10, 15, 20 years that we can't even really dream what's going to happen in the future, to be honest with you. But we can kind of understand, okay, what are we doing right now? Because we can't control that. We can't control what's happening in the future, and we can't control the tech that's out of our control. But what we can control is what we put out there right now. And we can just do our best job to get our businesses out there right now. So from a content creation point of view, I think it would just be that we would change how we think about what information we're creating. If you think about the job that something like Google has to do. So Google's job is to go out there and crawl through all of the information on the internet and decide which piece is the best result for that particular question. Imagine having that job, trying to decide what is the best one out of everything out there, all of that information on the internet. And that's why building up your authority on your site, your domain authority, so getting trusted links into your site from other places on the internet, so building up your backlinks and setting up your website structure so that your pages link together, and having your domain be a slightly older domain. Newer domains are always going to have a lower domain authority than older ones. Having those things helps Google to understand that you are an expert or that you're trustworthy. That would help with the sort of trust part of Google's. Google wants to know that your site is entertaining, you're an expert, you're authoritative, and trustworthy. So how do you get that information through? And that is through building up quality content on your site. And one of the things that you can do to help with that expert status is firstly making sure that you do have some content around the kind of pillars of what you do. So if you've never written a blog post, you've never released a podcast, making sure that you've got some episodes or you've got some blogs that are the foundations of why you're an expert on the topic. So you could explore the topic of what your expertise is, having that in one of your cornerstone pieces of content, so one of the main pieces of content of your website that then does link out to smaller articles. But the way that you can help yourself stand out against the AI algorithm is actually putting your own thoughts in there as well. So making it more of an opinion piece rather than fact-based, where AI can generate that itself. It can, if somebody asks a topic about how long does menopause last or something along those lines, you could have an article around that on your website, but having your own experience or the experience of your clients or your own opinions on that particular topic is the way that you can really stand out. And particularly if you've got a whole podcast episode talking about your own experience, and you don't have to go into personal details if you don't want to, but if you can build up your authority around that, that's something that AI can't actually take away from you. So it's something that a robot can't form an opinion right now. Even if it can generate the words to form an opinion, that's not what they're doing right now. It's not what people resonate with as well. So I think that's where, if you've got podcasts where you have guests on the show, that can be really helpful, but using the right sort of guests as well. So having people on where it is more conversational, or if you're trying to sell your own services or your own products, having guests on where it still shows you as the expert is really, really good to do. So I would definitely be thinking about that, thinking about what topics are important in your industry, and you can actually use AI to help you generate some ideas for this as well. So use ChatGPT or Google Gemini and ask, what are the main topics I need to be talking about to make me an authority in my industry and to help me stand out against AI? Because you can ask ChatGPT. It's not like you're trying to get spying on the inside, you know. It will give you some answers on the ways that you can actually protect yourself from your content becoming obsolete because of AI. So definitely would recommend doing that. And also then dive into that a little bit further of asking even, what are some hot topics around my industry? And especially what are hot topics right now. I need to put my teeth in today. What are hot topics right now around my industry? And you can use Google Trends as well. So you could go to Google Trends and have a look and see what topics are trending, or use another search volume tool. Google Trends is quite good just to see if there are emerging topics. And even if there aren't, even if you're looking, or if you're doing any keyword research and you're thinking, actually, no one's searching for this, and you have that real strong feeling like this is going to be something people are going to be talking about. Like with podcast SEO, there's not that much content out there around podcast SEO, but I know that it's something that is more of an emerging trend of people just trying to stand out in the podcast player apps. So that's why that's part of my to-do list over the next few weeks, to create some more content around podcast SEO. So yeah, do that and have a look at what is emerging. But even if there's nobody searching for it, if you've got that feeling that actually I know I need to create some content around this, then go for it, get it out there and be one of the first to put content out there, because that is helpful as well. If you can be the only source of that topic, and that's the only option for Google to, if someone Googles a particular question and yours is the only option out there, or one of very few, then that will then draw people into your site, and that then helps to increase that page authority on that particular page. So it's definitely worth doing that. But when you're creating that content, think about, how can I put my own personal spin on this? And again, you could use ChatGPT to help you not then write your personal spin, but to at least prompt you with questions of what can I do to make this my own personal opinion. And then what you could also do, so once you've created that article or created that podcast, so say you create a podcast around your particular topic and your experience on it, or 10 top myths about menopause or something along those lines, something that, there's probably a million articles out there of 10 top myths about menopause, but something where you can find that gap in the market and find something where I can put my opinion on that. What you could then do is create an inverse article around that. So you could create the say if you were doing 10 top myths around menopause, you could then create another article which is then a slightly different spin on it of 10 top truths about menopause or something along those lines. So it's worth thinking about it that way. So what can you do to put your own personal thoughts and opinions and values into every piece of content that you're creating? The things that are likely to have a drop off with AI sort of taking over it maybe a little bit from Google is going to be things where it's fact-based article, but those kind of things where somebody could, like years ago, we used to have to go to a weather app to find out what the weather was, or go to maybe a cooking app a website to find out what the temperature is between Fahrenheit and centigrade. And now I just ask Alexa that. So those are the kind of things that I think, actually, could this be answered in one simple question And if it can, how can I then, because there's nothing to say that you can't still have that information there on your website, especially if it's something that's an important thing for people to understand about your topic, because that helps then you to increase your authority on it. But think about how you can then add to that article to make it more personal as well. Thinking about as well, like common myths and common misconceptions, things that everyone believes is true about your topic and you have a different opinion on that. And obviously keep it to your real opinions. You don't want to put stuff out there that's controversial just for the sake of it, because, well, you might want to, but most people don't want to do that. They want to keep it to things that you do actually believe. So thinking about that, thinking about how can you bust myths and put a different spin on things, and that is probably the main way that we can all stand out against AI. I hope that's helpful. It's a topic that I really want to dive in deeper with, so I would love to know if you have any questions come up after this. One of the things I would say is just reiterating about not just churning out content for content's sake. It's one of those things that there is this myth that you've got to just keep churning stuff out and you can use AI to just keep generating blog posts and just write them, just put them out there, and it's the volume that matters. And it really doesn't. I think from the point of view of wanting to be an authority, and from the point of view of wanting to actually contribute something to the world that is going to be helpful for people, and not just increasing the noise, not just releasing stuff for the sake of it. Thinking about what is going to actually be helpful to your audience and putting what you do into that as well. So if you enjoy creating content, then take pleasure in that and enjoy it and use that content as much as you can. So if you've got articles that you've already written, what can you do to go back and add your opinion to them, make them more relevant, update them, make the most of what's already there? It's always easier starting from when you've got something already rather than creating it from a blank page. And you can put that into ChatGPT and then ask the questions, can I make this into an opinion piece, or can I make an opinion piece off the back of this blog post, and see what happens. It's definitely a great way to kind of just almost rebel against the thing of just creating content for content's sake. I think it should be something that we enjoy doing if we enjoy creating content. A lot of people don't enjoy creating content, but also think about, if you are creating content, how do you enjoy creating content? So do you enjoy writing articles? Do you enjoy recording audio? Do you enjoy recording video? How can you do the bit that you enjoy and then use AI to help you to make the most of it and to repurpose it as much as you can, really? So I hope that's helpful, and I will see you soon. Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to the Website Success Show. If you're looking for a fun and effective way to attract leads and grow your business, it's time to think about quiz funnels. I'm excited to announce my upcoming course, which will guide you step by step in creating your own quiz funnel to connect with your audience and boost conversions. And here's a special offer just for you. Pre-order the course before it's released for just £27. That's a saving of £20 off the full price of £47. Don't miss out on this exclusive pre-release deal. Head to thewebsitesuccesshub.com/quiz. That's thewebsitesuccesshub.com/quiz to grab your spot now. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.